Integrity is the lifeblood of democracy. Deceit is a poison in its veins. These wise words came from the late Senator Edward Kennedy. Ironically enough, Kennedy was one of the enablers of the congressional corruption, despite the fact he had the right idea in mind. Today, our country's integrity is in jeopardy. Whether you support or oppose the government, you have no choice but to submit legal authority regulations or laws of the American people or face incarceration. Is it fair that members of our Congress, the very ones that legislate, make, and pass our own laws, are able to withhold from these? Congress has become so corrupt after years of accumulated legal abuse. Congress members not only receive a lifelong pension, but also diplomatic immunities and the right to exempt themselves from American standards and practices. This chart right here, is a public opinion of how many people think that Democrats and Republicans in Congress are corrupt. Both sides are showing nearly 50%. I believe that we as Americans need to promote and stimulate the passing of the Congressional Reform Act of 2011. With this bill passed, the American standards will be brought back into our House of Representatives. The corruption of the congressional men and women is un-American and violates the vision of America. This Reform Act will reconstruct the way that the congressional officers operate in our judicial system and what occurs following their departure from legislature in areas of pension, as well as special treatments, services, and benefits. The congressional office members can also currently exclude themselves from arrest or detainment. Schweizer, an acclaimed researcher for a newsroom magazine, revealed that some Congress' most prominent members are in a position to routinely engage what amounts to a legal form of insider trading, profiting from investment activities that he would say send the rest of us to prison. However, Congress's relatively immunity also owes to the fact that in this regard, and many others, Congress lives by its own rules. They should have to follow the laws just like the rest of us. Article 2 of this bill suggests that Congress shall be subject to, without exception, all laws enacted within the United States of America, regardless of the circumstances or intent. Another paraphrase of this article is any suspension, immunity, excuse, or recusal of the penalty of law in all cases relating to individual behavior. Congressional representatives receive inconceivable benefits for representing the American congressional system for the remainder of their entire lives. They also reserve the privilege to opt out of receiving Social Security and in turn receive a pension instead. It works kind of like this. When they retire, they continue to draw their same pay until the day that they die. Except for one factor might be is their pay might actually increase. I say we should probably put them in the Social Security with the rest of us, and then watch how fast they actually fix it. If they couldn't receive a pension, don't you think that while in office, they do everything they can just to make sure they can get as much as possible out of the Social Security system? I know they would. Our coolest statistic is the median income for 99% of Americans per year salary wage is $46,000. Members of the House earn a salary minimum of $174,000 per year. This government spending should be regulated as well as predetermined. Congressional members from the lowest position to the highest position make at least $80,000 per year to up to a whopping $250,000 a year. You know, what's kind of funny is congressional pay your taxpayers' expenses through the debt of the recession. The Congress pay figures don't even include the generous rewards and their health benefits that they get on top of their benefits. And this suggests Article 7. Congress participate in the United States Social Security program with no alternative opt-out option, such as an option available to all American citizens. All members of Congress should be taxed equally by the Social Security system. Adherent to the wages of the House, we need to stop their funding and in turn lower federal expensive taxpayer dollars by cutting them off and receiving an overabundance of benefits and an unjust system post-term. Congressional coverage far surpasses enjoyed by 70 million Americans who are underinsured at financial risk in the event of a major health crisis, not to mention a 46 million that have no insurance whatsoever. So this kind of brings up a question. Why can't anyone enjoy the same benefits as a member of Congress? The answer, the country probably couldn't afford it. That's a sad truth. And not without reforms to bring costs way down, LA Times said. With the Reform Act passed, the start of many changes within our government system can effectively demonstrate the American dream and how it is intended to be by our founding fathers. Another article of this bill is called Article 3. It suggests that all members of Congress shall collect a salary of no more than $125,000 per year while serving in office and shall receive no benefits whatsoever. Now this is a chart of how much Congress, just the House of Representatives alone, made within the last couple years. From 1998, they went from $136,000 per year to 2012 up to $174,000 a year. You now know how Congress has taken advantage of us in multiple ways. Exempt laws, they have pension for life, they have unbelievable benefits, and all this time, this came right out of our taxpaying dollars. It is time to make a change. By recognizing the possible threats of a failed Congress, we must devote ourselves to come together as Americans. We must truly listen to one another to find a common ground and fix flawed yet a critical American institution. So sign the petition at change.org, and remember, the pen is always sharper than the sword.
So everybody agree?
Yes. Okay.